up more than you bargained for. Uh, mm, the traffic yesterday. How did you do it? Did you have to like park your car somewhere and just walk home? That traffic yesterday, and someone said the fuel is 1,000. That he spent like 4 hours in traffic within the island. So people who were journeying from somewhere end of town to another end of town, did you fly? Was this the moment you believed in Superman, witchcraft? Those, like when you watch the cartoons and somebody has a capacity to fly, like you wish someone said he was going to buy a flying car at this point. How did you survive? Is this flooding? Have we gotten to a point in this whole rainy season flooding point where we have to make a conversation of flooding? I think we've been seeing videos, but it's not looking usual. Okay, so maybe it's just me trying to be an alarmist, and maybe you're used to this kind of flooding. Are we really used to this kind of flooding? By the way, people want to keep listening to music. People are asking me on WhatsApp to continue the music. Many, many mo. But I'm down for music. Like, if there's anything I'm choosing without a thought, it'll be music. I told you we need a music window on the sunny side. Yeah, we do. At this point, we do. The world is really sleeping out of our hands, and the First Lady has told us to go out for Akara. We do. We anything that looks like salvation right now, we do. We need it. There's a video I saw over the weekend. It was the First Lady asking Burna Boy, Davido, like pretty much the guys who are doing well in the music industry, to open a foundation. Good idea. Off the jump, good idea. Be a philanthropist. Give. Is this what we're going to do to come out of this poverty we're in? This alms giving. I thought, can we get some thinkers on stage? Like, can we get people who can we get ideas? We need ideas. I don't think it's a suggestion for people who have means to be philanthropic. I think it's a good idea. I think it's humanitarian. I think it is laudable. It's a good idea in itself. Have you had to chew your own words? Okay, so all right. It's another day. Oyo State Governor has been in the news. We haven't, at least on the sunny side, we haven't discussed the release of the captives in Oyo State. And I think when I went through what would appear to be social commentary, some people thought it's political. I think we all agree at this point that much of this whole kidnapping thing in this country has a political aspect to. In fact, maybe it is fundamentally political at this point. Oh, yeah. I was going to tell you yesterday, the army reported that they found foreign faces in the cache of military. Hold on, I need to read that. I was going to read it to you yesterday. I didn't have time to do so. And it favors us this afternoon to pry into what's in the news. I hear there's somebody from Palestine. There's someone from Morocco. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, just give me a moment.
What's that station again? No.
Here's one
something you need to know about yourself. So now here we talk.
Yep, bullseye. That's the one. You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side. The Sunny Side. Welcome. My name's Joyce.
You are listening to Open Thought on The Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
All right, so what I wanted to share with you earlier on, the Nigerian military forces recently uncovered a multimedia evidence revealing foreign nationals, specifically a Palestinian and a Moroccan, operating as trainers and a medical doctor for the Islamic State West African Province faction of Boko Haram. The materials were found during a foiled attack in Borno State. The evidence was retrieved during a follow-up operation by troops of Operation Hadinkai in Cross Kawa. The soldiers killed an alleged ISWAP cameraman and recovered a camcorder containing video recordings and propaganda. According to a preliminary forensic analysis of the evidence, the video showed that the failed infiltration operation was coordinated by 4 senior ISWAP commanders and 3 foreign terrorist facilitators. The foreigners identified in the footage are, of course, a Palestinian and a Moroccan. So the Palestinian Abu Ishaq, identified by the military as the group's overall trainer, and Abu Thaiba, Moroccan Arab, and both are Arabs, one from Palestine, the other from Morocco. The latter identified as a medical doctor serving within the terrorist network, and then an unidentified Arab operative. We don't know what we're in. It's not evident. Or at least maybe some people know. But, it almost as though you put a grasp on it and then it slips out of comprehension again. Because someone was asking, what are they fighting for? It's like, we need to really redefine what exactly this is about. Because now we have moved from whatever it is that we once called clashes to now, what is this? Is this for resource? Is this for a takeover? A few years ago, Nigeria Info was fined because we had a guest on here who said that he was somewhere and that there was a conversation somewhere and he alleged that there was this intention to Islamize. We're not even sure what we're dealing with at this point, but we trust that the government is on it, because by the end of the day, power is in the hand of the government, resource wheel is in the hands of government, and so we're trusting that the government would not permit under their watch to have someone subvert authority, and even worse, their authority and the sovereignty of this nation. I guess while we're trying to piece all of that together, let's go to Oyo State. You have to be excited at the release of Nigerians who've been in captivity for close to 2 months. But honestly, there's nothing exciting about it. Well, at least for me, I'm wondering the torture, the living conditions, the abuse, and some people. I heard somebody say, no, it doesn't look. It looks staged, and people were saying things. I guess you're not the only person with something to say. Here is the governor himself. You're on the Sunny Side. We're Nigeria Info.
The circumstances surrounding this incident are sufficiently grave and unusual to warrant independent scrutiny beyond our domestic institutions. I therefore, with a full sense of responsibility as the executive governor of Oyo State, call on the appropriate international human rights and accountability mechanisms, including those within the United Nations system, to closely examine the facts surrounding this abduction and the circumstances of its resolution. Such scrutiny is not intended to undermine our institutions. Rather, it is intended to reinforce public confidence that the truth will be established and that every person found to bear responsibility, regardless of office, influence, or affiliation, will be held accountable. Under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the primary responsibility for national security rests with the federal government and the security agencies under its command. The Nigerian people, therefore, deserve a full and transparent account of what happened. Who was responsible? Whether there were institutional failures, negligence, or collusion at any level, and what measures must now be taken to ensure that no community is ever subjected to such an ordeal again. This is not about politics. It is about justice for the victims, reassurance for our people, and restoring public confidence that every Nigerian child can go to school without fear.
So Lagos, serious people come forward. How are you?
Everybody's tired. We're all tired.
Lagos, you can't be tired. Okay, so the executive governor of Oyo State, believes that, I think fundamentally he wants the investigation to be independent. And the government has said something about it. The government spokesperson thinks that it is a number of things for the governor to be calling a foreign body to come investigate. According to the words of the presidential spokesperson, he says that the army has pretty much revealed every aspect of their involvement in this particular release. And he is wondering why the governor is calling for an international body to come scrutinize, and goes on to say, well, yes, there's nothing to hide. The bodies can come scrutinize. There'll be nothing different from what has been told the governor or revealed by the military. If you stand outside the picture, it's fair to conclude that the governor supposes that there's something here amiss. There's a play, a scripting by a cast that he is either trying not to name, 1, 2, unclear about, 3, fundamentally political. And maybe this is his way of, 1, taking responsibility for what appears to be a situation outside of his own executive control, and would like for answers to questions that I guess every Nigerian has. There are sentiments held by Nigerians. The Nigerian government appears, they told us they were working on it. They want to secure every life and ensure that this goes as planned or maybe as intended in order to guarantee the rescue of all kidnapped victims. But maybe there's much to this that we do not know. And as you can understand how the media works, information has to be modulated, it has to be managed to create public perception and to manage what the public knows. Let's talk. Is it necessary to call a foreign body now, particularly now that they've been released? That's exactly what the presidency is saying. They've been released. Like, what utility does it serve to have the UN come in to scrutinize an already achieved objective? Why are you even asking for an investigation? Well, let's find out what you think about this. After this, we want to talk on Open Thought Tuesday, something that affects the Nigerian psyche, I believe, our collective psychology, who we are as a people, the personage, what we think of ourselves and what others think about us. You're not going to get it just yet, so you have to wait for that conversation on the other side of our second hour. We're Nigeria Info. Welcome. We're 99.3. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. Welcome. For being here, I have a minute with you. Good to have you here. Welcome to Nigeria Info.
Thank you, Joyce. Good afternoon.
Afternoon
My name is Emmanuel.
Welcome,
From
Emmanuel.
Aja.
Welcome.
Yes. Joyce, let me start from the flooding. First, it's not going to end anytime soon. If you are living in any part of these areas that is being flooded, it's only the grace of God and good sunshine that can take that water away from where you stay. As it is, I have friends that live inside this flood area and telling you they're not finding it funny anymore. It has gotten to the point whereby they can't even on electricity in their houses because even the floods are shocking them already.
Oh, no way.
Yes, that is what is happening. Then, to the Oyo State government calling an external body to come.
Let me interrupt you
investigate.
here. I want to go off on a break. If you would hold on for
All
me,
right.
please. Lagos will be right back.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
All right, thank you so much for your patience, my caller. Yes, you can conclude your thought.
So,
Turn off the volume of your radio set. Whatever it is whispering. Yeah, it's grating on my nerves.
just take it away from a loudspeaker.
Just turn
To
it
the Oyo
off.
State governor,
Mm-hmm.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
To the Oyo State governor, all I have to say is, it is a stage, it is a play. Oyo State is the stage. The people of Oyo are the toys in the hands of the players. Nothing good is going to come out, even if you call an external body. Nigeria as a government invited national body to come help fight Boko Haram. What was the result? They just came, map out where and where they are coming to create the chaos, and they left, promising you that they are coming to help or to help in terms of election. So let's just, you see, this terrorism, to me and to my understanding, it has come to stay because it's the most lucrative business so far in this country. Any government leaving the office will rather want to finance the terrorism to survive if politics doesn't work for him or her. So it has gone deep. It has gone to the point whereby we need to stand up for ourselves. Election is here again. I can hear people saying, I can't go out now, my family, I will die. We are not living, we are rather surviving. We are that thin line between survival and death. So why not just come out and see if you would rather survive or die? So if you are waiting for one man of God to pray this way out for you, you are fooling yourself as an individual in this country. There is no salvation anywhere anymore. Salvation is being sold to you. Some of them will give you fake promises, fake prophecies, and they'll tell you, don't worry, pray that this government will favor you after they have failed you. The government will create the problem. The men of God will give you hope and collect 10% of that hope that I've sold to you. So wake up, dust your PVC, and be ready for the next election. If this government takes over again, I bet you the lower classes will pick from dustbin to survive. Thank you so much for your time.
That was crude. That was gloomy. That was sad. Open Thought Tuesday. What an opening. Welcome to Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. You can tell me your name. Go ahead. Hello?
That was.
Hey, foreign caller, turn off the volume of, I guess it's your laptop or something.
Okay.
Tell me your name and you can go ahead.
Emmanuel is my name.
Are you ready? You're keeping me waiting.
Yeah. I'm ready. Joyce. Joyce, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
Joyce, to be honest with you, when I heard about or I listened to what the governor had to say, it's quite shocking me. But you can't actually blame the governor. You know, all of these things has politics written all over it. To be honest with you, if we are being honest with ourselves, there is politics written all over this. Let's not forget that this same governor came out to tell us that the day he declared to run for the presidency, the next day the kidnap happened. The same governor actually mentioned it. And let's not also forget that during the course of while these people were in captivity, APC members, the spokesperson of the presidency, all came out, and they were, trying to, take out the president from the equation. They were focusing on channeling all of their anger and all of the accusation on the governor. When you ask an average APC person, why those individuals were taken away. They will tell you the governor, and now they've been released. The governor has because he's also trying to protect his own self.
You have to allow me to interrupt you here. I want to go off on a break to bring the update, and I'll come right back to you. All right.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Lagos, the conversation is happening. Be a part of it.
Criticism of the president is unfair when it comes to security in the country.
Contractors, you say a lot of the agencies or government to be attributed to the government.
There's no court order that will tell you to block or go and reclaim without approval.
Let's talk on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's 1 o'clock.
The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you, Lagos. I am Buluwatife Jegede with the news. The presidency has dismissed Governor Seyi Makinde's call for a United Nations investigation into the abduction of pupils and teachers in Oriri local government area of Oyo State. Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga says the demand is unnecessary and claims it is being driven by politics. Onanuga says the federal government is open to any international probe, but insists there is no reason to doubt the account given by security agencies. Governor Makinde had earlier called for an independent investigation, saying Nigerians deserve a full account of the abduction and rescue. The Lagos State government says the flooding recorded in parts of the state is largely due to a sharp rise in the lagoon water level. Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, says the increase has slowed the discharge of stormwater from drainage channels into the lagoon. He explains that the situation has caused temporary flooding on some roads and streets, adding that the water is expected to recede as rainfall subsides and the lagoon level falls. The commissioner has advised residents to remain calm and avoid flooded areas where possible. The arraignment of Prince Adeniyi Adeyemi of the controversial Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council was stalled after he failed to appear before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Adeyemi is facing an 8-count charge of alleged forgery, fraud, and impersonation. In a television interview, Adeyemi denied evading authorities, insisting he stayed out of public view because of threats to his life. And finally, the United States has launched a third consecutive night of strikes on Iran, targeting what it says are missile sites and coastal defense systems. Iran responded with attacks on U.S. military base in Bahrain and missile launches towards Jordan, further escalating tensions in the region. Meanwhile, one crew member was killed and 8 others injured after Iranian missiles struck 2 tankers in the Strait of Hormuz near Oman. U.S. President Donald Trump has also announced the reinstatement of a naval blockade on Iran and proposed a 20% toll on ships using the Strait of Hormuz. And that's the news on 99.3 Nigeria Info. For more news updates, you can visit our website, nigeriainfo.fm. If you have any news tip you want us to cover, call us on 01465 Thank you so much for staying with us. I am Buluwatife Jagade. The Sunny Side with Joyce continues.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
We're back. It's 4 minutes past 1 p.m. I have a caller waiting for me on WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller.
Yeah. Joyce, thank you so much for having me once again. But I am going to be on the side of the governor in this particular one. If he's calling for the UN to come investigate, he definitely knows something, because there has been a precedence, right? Joyce, you remember when the current governor of Zamfara, is it Zamfara? Governor Dauda Lawal, before he joined the APC. Sometime last year, he was on television, where he alleged that the minister, or a current minister, was sponsoring bandits. And in fact, on TV, he actually asked the minister to resign. They're talking about Matawali. And Matawali had to reply Governor Lawal last year. It was on Premium Times, it was on African Report. He went on Channels TV to give that allegation, and he also urged, in fact, he alleged that Matawale kept bandits in the government house and urged Matawale to resign and clear his name last year. This happened last year. This was before the governor actually joined APC. And when he joined APC, now, this year, all those allegations has actually stopped. He stopped talking about all of those things, stopped mentioning any of those things. So these are the things you get when you are in the opposition. And like I mentioned earlier before you went on break, Governor of Oyo State, Governor Seyi Makinde, has actually mentioned that the day he declared to run for presidency, the next day the kidnapping happened. The governor said it live. And that says a lot. Again, like I also mentioned earlier, when this kidnapping happened, when these individuals were in captivity, everybody ran with the agenda. It was like a coordinated agenda against the governor. They were all talking about the governor. What is the governor doing? This and that. So I'm sure he knows something. Let me not conclude, but I'm sure the investigation will give us an indicator or indication to what exactly happened. Because politics is written all over it, and it's a shame that certain individuals in APC are. Or let me not accuse them right now. Certain individuals in the country are using human lives to play politics. It's a shame. If I don't think there's anything wrong. Yeah, and when I listened to what he said this is not to bring down the security architecture in the country, but it would be good. Let's have a foreign body. It is not about to have a foreign body. The government themselves have actually invited the United States to come and help us fight banditry. So if we have enough security, why do they have to invite USA? So if you are calling on the UN, I don't think it's a bad thing. Let's have them come investigate this matter, because this is a case of them pinning it down on the governor, and the governor is trying to exonerate himself. So let's know who exactly did what happened. So that's my own this on this. Thank you very much.
Lakers, remember when you call me, you have to turn off the volume of your computer, your radio set. It's just necessary for a seamless conversation, all right? Thank you. 7 minutes past 1 p.m. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. How are you? Thank you for being here. Welcome. You tell us your name.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good to have you. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Godwin.
Welcome.
Calling you from Ibadan. Whether this situation, this scenario is staged or not, whatever we will be thinking about is not all the stories you are talking on radio. What we should do is how to find modalities that will stop all these things happening, all these negativities. If we come on radio and start throwing blames from right back in there, or the presidency, or nothing, or no solution will not come. It will still happen. What are we putting in place to stem this on ground that such thing can happen? And if there is anybody that is powerful enough to organize such kind of thing, should now be whole and be dealt with accordingly. If it is imprisonment, you give him.
Who are you addressing your commentary to? Who are you addressing this to? Radio
who
or
am I
the presidency?
addressing?
Yeah, your opinion. It has to be okay. No,
my
really.
opinion. I'm not. If people are calling and pointing fingers at that person, this thing come from presidency. Okay, what have you done for that not to come from presidency another time?
What have I done?
Yeah, what have we done? We the Nigerians.
What can you do?
We that don't want this.
What do you think you can do to prevent the next kidnap? Yeah.
I said if by peradventure evidence are out, let the necessary body go on it. If anybody is found culpable, they should deal with him, even if he's the president.
This is hardly a genius idea. Isn't that exactly what the governor is calling for? That's exactly what the governor wants to achieve.
If we are shying away from this thing, that is why the country is going down. Some countries don't give respect to who you are. If you are the president, you commit, you go for it.
Your position is lost on me. Pardon me. Your position is lost on me. Sometimes I think in your statements you're addressing media. In another sense, I think you think the conversation is not worth having.
Listen. If I'm addressing the media, I say us, we Nigeria. The media is in Nigeria.
So I'm asking you. No. So no. Excuse. Let me ask you. What role can you play to prevent the next kidnapping?
The role I'm playing is what I'm talking now. As I'm calling you, giving my own contribution. It's part of my role. If I cannot have gun. You don't play it.
You don't play a role. Excuse me.
Am I a lawyer?
It is. You have to, as much as you want to be a nationalist, you also have to be honest in your. You don't play any role. If you are not benefiting from, kidnappings, you don't play a role. The government holds resources.
With my own.
So then don't direct it to me nor to the media. What are we supposed to do besides report the news?
I'm not directing it to you. Listen to my statement. No, you. I say Nigerians. Is the media not in Nigeria?
What do you want Nigerians to do?
We are.
Are Nigerians not the victim of this?
Let's keep quiet and be looking at them, and then let's be crying and talking and telling the whole world to come and help us. Let's not help ourselves again as a Nigerian. Let's wait for Israelites to come and help us. Let's wait for the Americans to come and help us. Is that okay? It's not right. This thing is being done. Let's just take the bull by the hump. We here.
We or the government, like citizens or the government. So I think that's exactly what I'm struggling with here.
The government, the citizen, any well-meaning Nigerian that is having this good mind for Nigeria.
Excuse me, a good mind is not enough to contend with evil. You need the means to be capable of a threat. You need to become
having that good mind, you start making moves.
Whose dad is
this? Life is all about. The other time, they say, Nigeria is in problem. They call Americans to come and help us, and they come and they say they fire.
Don't you think this is the responsibility of the government? You don't want to blame the government.
And they left. Is that help?
You don't. Do you think the government is responsible?
Okay. It is the responsibility of the government. It's the responsibility of the well-meaning Nigerians.
What do you want me to do? What do you want the ordinary Nigerians who have no arms to do?
Okay.
They're the victims of this.
Ordinary Nigerians. If we don't have anything to we should just keep quiet and be watching. We shouldn't be calling your station then and then be complaining. This thing we are doing every day, this calling every day on radio station is part of the contribution we are doing. If not, so we should have just stopped.
All right, okay.
If you are asking me this kind of question.
Thank you so much for calling.
So whatever call, let's take the advice and then make use of it. That is all. Thank you very much.
You're on the sunny side. Welcome. It's so good to... wait, who do I go to first? Just give me a moment. WhatsApp caller. Okay, let me come to WhatsApp. Thank you very much for your patience. Tell me your name. You can go ahead.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Welcome. Tell us your name. You can go ahead.
Oh, my name is Chris. Sorry. Good afternoon. Yeah, I want to say this. I don't know why we always think that the West, which when I mean the West now, United Nations really care about Nigeria. You understand? The governor didn't call on African Union investigation. You just read the news saying that there's a foreign hand in the kidnapping in Nigeria. And it's still the same foreign hand you want to invite to come and investigate things in Nigeria. First of all, we as Africans need to actually do things ourselves. All this foreign hand, for example, the United Nations is controlled by the United States. And I don't think they can come into the country to come and do anything concerning this thing. You understand? For me, he should approach the right authority. I would rather say African Union is better than the United Nations for me. So if you really want independent investigation, stay within your circle. the foreign power, for them, divide and conquer works because everyone wants a pie, wants a bit of Nigeria. China wants a bit of Nigeria. US wants a bit of Nigeria. All other Western European countries wants a bit of Nigeria. So you inviting them in, it won't change anything.
All right.
It won't. They are in cohorts with the present government. They are in cohorts. So for me, it's just fruitless to say you want to invite the United Nations to come and investigate this thing. So,
all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. How are you?
Joyce, I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Tell us your name. You can go ahead.
It's Imam speaking to you from Egbe. First off, I want to sound a note of caution to some Nigerians who are saying this kidnapping is arranged between some people and the victims. Some people are saying that they are looking better, than they were when they were kidnapped. Some people are asking how were they eating, and so on. I want to tell them that Nigeria happens to people. And the day Nigeria happens to them, who is going to believe them? I wonder who is going to believe them. And perhaps some people might also want to say that they arranged the event, that made them be at the receiving end. We all saw what happened. These people spent almost 60 days in kidnappers' den. Children, some are even 2 years old. That is on our side. Coming back to the government efforts, I don't know if some people saw the footage of the effort the government put in rescuing these people. They did a lot. The DSS, the military, some arm of the police, they did a lot. And for the government, I must say this is not even sustainable. Because as we speak today, there are probably 100 camps of kidnappers where Nigeria are being held hostage. Can you simultaneously carry out this rescue operation in these 100 camps? The straight answer is no. So the government should take these bandits, terrorists out before they carry out their action. That would be far better, less expensive, than when they kidnap them, you pay ransom, or you begin to spend a lot of money, in putting it into rescue. Because even in this rescue, I saw fighter jets. It's very, very expensive. Now, coming to the issue of the politicking of it by the politicians. If politicians are playing politics with this, the ordinary Nigeria should not play politics with this. Because we are in a mess and we are in a serious issue. Some Nigerians seem not to appreciate the kind of issues how deep these issues are. For Seyi Makinde, it's neither here nor there for me. We all saw some of the political gladiators, most of them associated, to the APC camp, who were saying that they don't trust Seyi Makinde, that he might be the orchestrator. Who will be a leader that wants a bad news originating, from his states, or even as a president? You can't be a president and then you want the international community, to associate you with such news. So, for Seyi Makinde, probably he wants to exonerate himself, from this accusation, that he is involved, and probably he wants some international body, to do the job. But I don't also trust this international body. Look at the US; they came into the country, and they pulled out of the country. We all thought that they were Messiah, but when they came in, the scene even escalated, and it even became worse. Okay. For the federal government, I want them to do better, especially their spokespersons, because at the point we are today, we need collaboration of the states, the federal, the local government, and even the people, but more responsibility lies on the federal government. For instance, you say you take some of these people into custody. In some saner society, 12 to 24 hours, you have the pictures of these people, everywhere, who they are, who gave birth to them, where they are from, the last job they do, in fact, their mental status. So I'm surprised that up till now we don't even know these people you said you've taken into custody. So it will be better that government is good in accountability, in opening, the door, to the people, so that the people will know the day-to-day activity how they are how they will be prosecuted, and how we will get to a legal end, of this issue. But I'm happy that these people, are out, and I want Nigerians to be more serious so that we can able to curtail, and curb this nonsense, we find ourselves. Thank you and good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We're going to go to WhatsApp right now to hear from writers who are listening and, of course, have left us their thought on WhatsApp.
Okay. All right. So, this first person says, Muri from Oriyomi from, he said, Joyce, please don't waste time with this caller from Ibadan. The man is confused. Then this next person says, Ibilade, he says, if the Oyo school kidnapping was a show, are we saying that the beheading of the teacher by the terrorists was also a part of the show? What about the loss of military personnel during the rescue? Let God be praised by one and all. Our children are safely back home. May it not happen again. That's the bloody from Badagry.
Yeah, but you hold on a second. It's not enough to say that. Do you know that I think a day after this release in Oyo State, it was reported that another man was kidnapped on his farm? Did you see that on the Punch? So may it not happen again. Like, what utility does it serve? Good intention doesn't mean anything if we're not working to stop this thing. I read it a day after it was reported that the Oyo victims were released, that another kidnapping happened there. So I think that we need to really be offended by these consistent patterns, these patterns that remain. And I'm asking this afternoon on the show whether you think the governor has anything to achieve with asking foreign bodies to come investigate this particular matter. Maybe it's because it affects him directly, or maybe he's trying to highlight something without touching it. But I think it's necessary to say that kidnapping is still going on against all your good intentions.
This next person, Mike in Agbara, says, Joyce, those of us who know Tinubu very well, even before he became president, know for sure that he's capable of doing anything just to retain and remain in power. He says he has evil agents that can do anything he requested, and more evil things will still happen before and during the 2027 election. Only soldiers can stop his bloodthirsty ambition. Okay.
Only soldiers what? What? Soldiers take command from... Don't you know how the country works?
Nope, he doesn't.
And then again, are you accusing the president specifically of direct involvement? Because I think I kind of got that from there.
Adegoke from Lucky says, Dear Joyce, I wake up every day praying that God should seize the rains because it has gotten out of hand, even though my area is not affected yet, but it is moving closer to that. I think the governor Makinde knows something that we don't know. He's trying to shake the table. I think it's better he comes out clean and then breaks the table now or never. He should forever remain silent if he doesn't do that. I don't think this is politics. I think it's more than that. Something is fishy.
Yeah, that's politics now.
Tinubu created a militia according to Daniel Bala. The media should focus on that. But I don't expect the media to do it now. Nigeria doesn't have a future where there is no terrorism. Terrorism is now part of us, apparently.
Is it that you don't believe in this whole UN thing? Like, aren't you concerned that this UN thing may benefit Oyo State? Maybe not all of Nigeria, but Oyo State specifically, because many of you are not speaking to that. And I'm wondering why.
He goes on to say, I pity children born in this country, do them a favor and don't give birth to them.
That, rather than call the UN, don't have sex.
Yeah, don't give birth.
Exactly.
You can have sex, but don't give birth.
All right. Okay.
The narrative, good afternoon, Joyce. The narrative that Governor Seyi Makinde wants us to believe is that the ruling party is against his dead on arrival presidential bid. The question begging for answers are: 1. What was his immediate response when the abduction happened? 2. Has he received any security votes during and after the abduction? If yes, what has he done with the money that he received? And to your callers that are very angry the abductors were rescued, what else do they want the government to do? The narrative some people are trying to portray is simply to discredit every government effort. The whalers will continue whaling after January elections. Alfred Temitokwe.
Oh, Alfred, don't do that. Alfred, I beg you, wait. I know you think I think you're speaking from a place of political sentiment. But you see, I don't want you to do that. There's a better way to think about this. There's a liberty that comes with being independent of politics when you are thinking. If you were the person kidnapped, you wouldn't want someone to just say, yeah, the whalers are just whaling, If this is exactly what we think it is, if your mom was there, if your father was there, if you were there, you wouldn't want someone to think, yeah, it's just the whalers whaling. We're saying that human lives here could be pawns in a political game. Now, we don't know that to be actually true. And so I guess that's exactly what Shane Makinde is asking for, a kind of independent investigation. Though the government is saying, well, we have done everything. We have brought out all the facts. The government knows exactly what we know. Of what utility does it serve that there's more investigation? All of this is happening while kidnapping is still happening in this country. Well, from the break. We'll be right back. Let's quickly, I think you've heard this. Okay, yeah, you want to go back to WhatsApp or
Yes.
WhatsApp callers? Let me go to the
I want
telephone
to
lines
finish
then. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Nigeria is a huge theater. I don't know what to believe anymore. God help us all. That's Chris from Dublin. And this next person says, hello, Joyce. How else would anyone how else would they afford private jets, Rolls Royce, and other luxury cars? How would they afford or finance their political ambitions? How would they acquire choice mansions in Abuja and overseas if terrorism and insecurity came to an end in Nigeria? Have you forgotten that the allegations that Adeni bribed his way into securing a fake appointment with 400 billion? Where do you expect him to get that kind of money if he's not Dangote?
He said he borrowed it. I think he said something about he.
Olusoka from Odonla says, Sheyi might be right too, that there is more to this kidnapping than we think. Remember that he said after declaring interest to run for presidency, the abduction took place. This next person says, Joyce, good afternoon. No, I want to ask if I want to ask if there are tailors at the kidnappers' den, because those children were kidnapped in their uniforms, but they were returned in another attire. Some of them smiling. People that have been traumatized for over 50 days in the forest. Joyce, I'm confused here. Well, let me give kudos to our Ghana's military officers. God will bless them and their families.
Yeah, but I thought I played a video here where I think it was the Punch or Vanguard, I'm not sure, went to the community where it happened, and they said that they tried to tail the abduction pathway, and they found the uniforms of the students on the floor and their sandals. Apparently, after the kidnappers took the children, they told them to remove what they had on. Yeah, this is me attempting to make a bearing between your question and they were kidnapped in their uniforms. The kidnappers.
Yeah, but
took
he's
off
saying that even though, do they have tailors there?
Maybe
Because what do they wear?
maybe
Or
clothes.
they told their parents, please put clothes in your children's bag.
No. I mean,
them
come
today.
on now. But think about it. Much negotiation has been happening. So I guess between the negotiations, someone had said, well, at least cover the children up. And then it's like, oh yeah, you can bring clothing for them. Yeah, it's possible. You have to be elastic in your. It doesn't have to be true, but it's possible. You can potentiate these kinds of things. You can see how this is possible. You can see it. So, well, it's not relevant anymore. They're out. Is this how you guys came up with this is a stage, that this was a drama?
Yep.
Your imagination is not it. What?
This person says, why must these politicians politicize everything? You will see that last, we won't hear anything from the arrests made during this rescue. What information have they gathered from all the logistics suppliers, the gunners, everyone next to the bandits? I feel like government knows these bandits, but decides to shield them and act like they don't know them. We have politicians in Nigeria. We don't have politicians in Nigeria. What we have are men that are desperate for power, whether by hook or crook.
But Gumi
Someone
told us.
from Yaba.
Gumi told us that the government knows them. At this point, nobody is assuming that the government doesn't know them. Gumi told us that that even when he goes into the forest, he doesn't even go alone. He goes with government officials, and you've seen pictures that in instances where Gumi wasn't alone. So I think they know them. What do I think? Oh, I know that they know themselves. The presidency is saying that the presidency has no objection to an international body examining the incident if Makinde believed there were unresolved issues. Quote, the governor has just expressed his opinion that the UN should probe this incident. Our doors are open. Let the UN come if he thinks there is more to this than our military has explained. He, however, questioned the basis for the government's demand, arguing that security agencies had no reason to deliberately subject Nigerians, especially children, to prolonged captivity. According to him, the rescue operation came at a cost, with some security personnel, including members of the military and Amotekun, losing their lives while rescuing the abductors. He said, and I quote, it was unthinkable that anyone would deliberately conspire to expose the victims to the 56-day ordeal, including the killing of a mathematics teacher during captivity. All right, so we are going to go back to our call and probably speak to two more people, wrap this up, and go somewhere else. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being on Nigeria Info this afternoon.
It's difficult. It's really difficult getting you. See, very quickly, let me just say my own piece.
Sure, please.
First of all, while those people were, my name is Ife, while those guys were in captivity, we were told that sorry, I lost the track of my. But there were certain things that came out. There were certain things I've been trying you for her, but honestly,
I'm sorry.
So my mind just got my mind. But we were told certain things. Then all of a sudden, it's another. Oh God! Just honestly, please just read my voice note. I sent it. I think
you sent it.
It's gone out of my head. Yes, I sent it. I sent it on my text something.
Okay.
On my
all right.
WhatsApp. It's gone off my head now. I've been
What's
trying
your
forever.
name on WhatsApp?
Sorry.
You have a name on WhatsApp?
My name is Ife. My name is Ife.
Kemi doesn't have eyes, but she'll try. All right. Thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
I might try back if I remember.
Okay, if you remember, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Kemi, that's your work. Found it? All right, so.
But there are other messages, but there's no.
You can't find any Faye yet. Hello, Nigeria Info. Good afternoon to you. Turn off the volume of your radio set.
Yeah, good afternoon. It's Mayan. I'm calling from Ikeja. Yeah, so I think if I was to be beside Mr. Emmanuel, I think I would have bought him a bottle of beer if he drinks beer, because I think he's the only one that has spoken with common sense, looking at the matter from Sheyi Makinde's perspective.
Okay, so hold on, let's fix that. You think that he has spoken with, for a point of view you agree with, not necessarily because you think every other person must be.
Yes, because, because
without
I don't
common
know why
sense.
Nigerians like to. Yeah, because I don't know why Nigerians like to politicize everything. Oh, some people say the kidnap is staged, is fake. So what about the teacher that was beheaded? Was that also fake? So I don't know why Nigerians are like this. I think we are not different from the politicians. Nigerians are as terrible as the politicians. The only difference is just the position which we occupy.
But you have to also accommodate.
He hasn't gotten there.
Look, I understand it, but you also have to accommodate for what has now become apathy on the sides of those who do not want to believe it. And you can't blame a person who thinks the beheading is also part of the script. You can't blame a person for that.
But that's very dangerous to have that such mindset, because even when you're in a position of trouble, you wouldn't even know when to come out to say, okay, this is reality and this is fake.
Yeah, but you can't blame them. Remember that these are people who are receiving signals. You're blaming the victim here. You're blaming people who are really at the mercy of the government. I mean, you think they don't have common sense, so I'm thinking, well, maybe it's not accurate.
You're getting me wrong. I'm talking about the callers, not the victims of Oyo.
No. The callers are Nigerians are a victim of all of this. That's exactly what I said. The Nigerians are a victim of this.
The issue is that they are politicized. They are saying, oh, the people, when they say staged, that means they're also saying that the people, the actors, the kidnapped victims were part of the script. That's what they are trying to say. Like, oh, you guys are part of the script.
Is it possible that no, maybe they were pawns in the game.
Saying.
No, now you're looking at it from one corner too. You have yabbed somebody of not having common sense, but you're looking at it from one corner. A pawn in a game is exactly what it is, a game, and you have a pawn in it.
Just please, it's English they are speaking. They said it directly, specifically. They make me look like these guys are part of a plan. So for Sheyi Makinde, honestly, I don't know. I don't think the man is serious, because what is his political relevance today? Like, if you put first Shey Makinde in a race with Atiku and Peter Obi, would he get up to 1 million votes? So why would he say, it was stage managers and it was the government, blah, 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 that?
He didn't say it was the government. He just says that he
Yeah,
has
but-
suspicions.
But he should name call out the names if he's sure of the people who
No,
carried out
he
such
doesn't.
actions.
It's suspicion. It's suspicion, and he said, let's interrogate it.
For me, I just think he's trying to play politics. They just don't want to be responsible. Every governor should be responsible for the security of your state, and if you fail in that regard, you should be held accountable. And that's not also to leave the federal government out. That also they have also failed in protecting the lives of Nigerians. And look at the soldiers that are dying every day. I have friends in the north who serve in the north, and like I get daily updates from them. The ones that even serve in Lake Chad, I get daily updates for them. It's not. It is terrible. It is a terrible situation. So sometimes when I hear Nigerians trying to play like this one, that are real soldiers I know that die, that I know. So when people come and say, "Oh, all these things are staged," the lives are involved in these things. So if you're not there, if it has not happened to you, you would not know. You would just come and think, "Oh,
Why do you think we haven't fixed this? Why do you think this has not ended?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because the government is not serious in the first place.
You
That's
think it's just a
because now
sheer
they
lack
let-
of seriousness? You don't think there's a part of this that could be politicized?
There, of course, there's always politics in everything. Now there are governors who you hear about governors.
But you're also blaming the people who think it's being politicized. But you also agree that an aspect of this is politicized, and that's why we haven't been able to fix it.
Not in every situation. A situation where life is taken, you cannot say it is politicized. You cannot politicize it as a person because you don't know the details of the situation. That's just it. That's just it. Because the way people are making it look like, the victims are part of the plan. They're all part of the script. They call it a script. So anything that happens in Nigeria, till it happens to them, they will not believe it is real. So that's how bad it is. I think that sense of being, I don't know the word to use, like to see things from the point of view that's not without bias, because you don't like somebody or you don't like the Nigerian.
Cynical? You think Nigerians have become cynical?
Then you're trying to twist it. I think that's it. It's just a mental problem. I think it's
okay. So here is what we're going to do. Hold on a sec. No. Wait. Here's what we're going to do. I don't think it's fair for you to call the radio station and say every other person has a mental problem. I don't think it's fair.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not. It's not.
I know, to be honest with you, I know what you mean. I know your intent is not to be insulting, but I have a problem with your own logic, and I haven't quite called you someone who's mentally incapable of comprehension. You see that? So I think you can state your opinion. No, and I'm being honest about it.
Yeah.
I think you can state your opinion just so that, because if you judge, then we have rights to now judge you, and I already have a problem with you, and I've let you speak for 4 minutes.
Yeah, of course. It's just that it's just annoying to just hear that somebody died and then people just politics is everything that these people.
I get it.
It is all scripted. So imagine if the person would be beaten, how would they be feeling? And people are talking about the clothes they put on, like I don't know.
Yeah,
it is very bad. It is very bad, honestly.
It is. It is. Thank you so much. It truly is bad. And here is the problem that I think that some people may be struggling with when it comes to trying to understand public narrative. Some people have become apathetic. They're just cynical. In fact, some people think the government, which is not anybody's fault at this point, because we've even heard people within government corridors say that all of this, the government is aware. I was on this show. It was on this show that I learned that a former president said if insecurity in any country lasts more than 24 hours, that the government is aware. It was on Nigeria Info. I heard it for the first time. And I want to say that a lot of people are truly just blaming the government explicitly. And that the only reason this has continued for this long is that because, the government is probably trying to manage a situation. They're trying to manage enemies and foes, and somehow people die in the mix. And so when people say this is being politicized, you can't blame them if that is exactly the conclusion they arrive at. And I want us to know that we all have, no matter what opinion we hold, we all have the same problem. Whether you believe it's politics, whether you don't believe it's politics, it's the same problem. Whether you have faith that this is going to end, you don't have faith that this is going to end, is the same problem. So we now have to find a common denominator. Are we going to collectively agree on something that takes us forward? Or are we just going to sit back here and call each other names? Meanwhile, there was a Benue situation a few days ago. I think in Jos, there was also a situation a few days ago. I was so surprised over the weekend when I read that while Oyo State was trying to celebrate the release of 40 the 40 plus people. Another man was being kidnapped on his farm, and his son spoke to the Punch saying that he was calling on the government. And I wondered, is anybody even listening to this gentleman at this point? Because it seems as though the attention is everywhere else besides the same Oyo state where people were kidnapped, and now someone else has been kidnapped in the same Oyo state. So maybe you can't quite blame the governor for saying, let's investigate this. And I don't think that it's too much to ask. It's also, when you hear the presidency, you blame the governor. You're thinking, are we on two different pages here? Or like what is happening with people's lives? Let's go off on a break.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
Hey Lagos, it's the season finale of the I Beg to Differ debate tournament. And I don't know if you've heard about it because this one is the Tournament of Champions. Okay, you have 16 of Nigeria's finest secondary schools, 3 debates every day, 4 weeks of fierce intellectual battles. And we're all wondering, so who will now be crowned the champion of champions? Well, stay tuned to find out because all this will begin Monday, August 10th at 3 p.m. Okay, August 10th, 3 p.m. And the final lap begins on Monday. And champions from Abuja, Port Harcourt, Lagos will all go head to head in this ultimate battle of ideas, logic, and persuasion. Okay, come witness brilliance, courage, and history in the making. For sponsorship, or if you have inquiries, you can send an email to any of these email addresses I'm going to call out now. It's info@nigeriainfo.fm. That is info@nigeriainfo.fm. Or I beg to differ at nigeriainfo.fm. That's one statement. Small caps, no space. I beg to differ at nigeriainfo.fm. It's I beg to differ, the Tournament of Champions, season finale, and we are set.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
Okay, so there are a few more messages we have to cover because we have another conversation. Why is my microphone turning away? Stay down. WhatsApp.
Okay. All right. This person says, this is Diplomatic Peril from Victoria Island. Good afternoon, Joyce. The kidnappers have sponsors. Their sponsors can sew clothes for the children while in captivity. Were they not having fake army camouflage? Who provided that for them? Where did they get the food they were feeding the victims from? This next person says...
Oh, that's just a question?
Yes,
so
all those are questions.
We all agree now that these guys have a sophisticated supply chain, from communications to medics. That I just told you that the army did say that they found a medical doctor amongst them, an Arab guy from Morocco, another Palestinian who is a trainer. They have sophisticated weapons. How many times has it been assumed that the bandits have more sophisticated weapons than our military? So they have a sophisticated supply, or they have a sophisticated supply chain. So I don't think that finding a tailor would be a major problem, or going to a local market to buy clothing for people they have in captivity would be a problem.
Yeah. Okay, so this is additional from Ikorodu, and he says this government is culpable about the insecurity in Nigeria, and for some people it's very hard for them to believe that Nigeria government is playing politics with our life. It's very dangerous. It's a very dangerous trend, and if we don't put a stop to it now, this game should have been over by now. All of this is a script written by a political elite, and Nigerians have to come together and speak with one voice.
That one.
Chris says, it seems like people have hated this government for so long that they don't even believe anything positive can come from it. They are skeptical about everything that comes from them, from the Benue and the northern situation. I blame the leaders, the elders of the north. We saw how the southwest people stood up and got proactive. People like Igbo. So don't shift blame saying that it is staged when the north are actively doing barely any minimum to fight kidnapping. This next person says, good afternoon, Joyce. The caller who was saying that other callers lack common sense shows that his own IQ is low on the basis of corrugated biased view that he doesn't even know that politicians also kill to make a sympathetic point. You must be responsible when you call on radio and avoid your sentiment to insult other people's points and views. The merchant man.
I don't think, to be fair, I don't think he really intended to be insulting. It was just that he didn't intend, and let's be honest, he didn't intend to be insulting. So I hope you don't feel offended, though.
Okay. Joyce, good afternoon. David from Ikorodu. Please, I support what Governor Makinde is asking for. He wants to exonerate himself. This APC administration is completely evil. Buhari killed Nigeria, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his gang are the undertakers. Let there be international proof. Hello, Joyce. I believe that the reason for this skepticism goes to show that the people have zero trust in the government. I won't blame them because at this point, Nigeria has become the more you look, the less you see. I'm glad that children are out. They should let the teacher rest. That woman has been doing interviews up and down. I feel that it's sad that the CSO of the state wants to delegate security to United Nations. Is he for real? Good morning. The first thing I observed when I saw the video, the skin of the woman who spoke looks like someone that has a bath every day.
Why are you guys
if
like
you go to farm 2 days without having your bath, your skin will look somehow now.
Okay.
Olabode.
I don't want the jokes anymore in this one, to be honest with you. The reason I don't want the jokes is that I can understand that you don't believe that what is being shown to you is exactly what it is. But it's still people's lives, which for me is just the best common denominator. It's still people's lives. Where if a person had their freedom taken away from them for 2 months in a country where everywhere you look there is a repetition of the same pattern, the jokes begin to appear not so funny anymore.
Like
It's not funny
humor.
anymore. And I guess maybe it's a survival mechanism for the Nigerian. But where you see, I want you to know another day has come, the sun has risen, and we're left with nothing but to conclude a conversation that we will pick up again tomorrow. Because as far as today goes, we have no guarantee that it will not happen before the sun sets today or that it wouldn't happen tomorrow. The young boy who said his father was kidnapped in Oyo State, I'm waiting for an update on that story. But God, you see that.
Richard says, good afternoon, Joyce. It's easy to say that it was drama because we are not connected directly to the victims. He says that, for instance, the teacher that was beheaded on camera, I agree that it's politics, but it's certainly not drama. Joyce, if you go by the pictures in circulation after the kidnapping took place, the students didn't remove their uniform after they were kidnapped. The picture on the internet and the pictures of the kids were the pictures of the kids with uniforms. We know be mumu now. This next person says, on this issue of Governor Makinde requesting thorough investigation via a foreign body, if you remember what Sunday Igboho said some weeks ago, that some politicians are behind the kidnappings.
Did Sunday Igboho say that?
Well, I'm gonna look it up. He says we need a federal government to be sincere in handling this issue. 8 terrorists were arrested. We need to see their faces. We demand to know those sponsoring these guys. The account in the Benin Republic Bank, who owns it? Lastly, what measures of security is the governor providing for the people of Oyo State now via the security vote? That's Yomi from Murio Kola. And this person says, good afternoon, Joyce. Seyi Makinde is right in calling for external scrutiny into the whole script in capital letters. He says this will benefit Nigerians more. The outburst from the presidency is known. It's their trademark now. It was meted out at the wake of the fake agency saga. That's Steve Ikelu from Maryland.
Let's go off on a break. We'll be right back. When we come back, there's another conversation we have waiting for us on the flanks, and it's about, I guess, even the Nigerian perception of Nigeria. But I came by this video of an entrepreneur who is an employer of labor, and he did give an account of how he prefers to hire foreigners to handle the higher level of administrative work in his organization, because maybe by virtue of experience, he has realized that Nigerians tend to... I'm looking for the appropriate word here. Is it that I don't think Nigerians are incapable. I think Nigerians have become a victim of an environment that has made them less competent in a sense, for which even a Nigerian employer of labor would prefer a foreigner. And I'll play you the audio, and you can make of this particular position, make of it what you will, and then you give me a reaction to it. Let me tell you why this is necessary. It's necessary because I feel that Nigeria is so caught up in survival that we've not had time to truly beautify life. We have not had the privilege to extract beauty from life. It's like, I've heard people say we don't have a maintenance culture. And you don't think it's important until you go to another culture and you see what it looks like to have a maintenance culture. And you realize that even something as simple as maintenance is a privilege that you get from having stability, normalcy, development, prestige, value, spirit, personage, meaning, purpose. You realize that the moments you establish virtue and meaning on people and place and identity, that something as maintenance becomes premium, superior to a situation where there was nothing like, or people who don't have a maintenance culture. It is almost as though because we're caught up in survival that we are not, we're alive, but we're not really living. Yeah. And I think another aspect of this particular conversation we're about to have that I think is rather revelatory would be the fact that a Nigerian thinks having or employing Nigerians kind of just almost runs the business down. And my first question is, how is that true? And how is it, and if it's true, how is it possible? And whether it's the corruption that we've tolerated, how we have, we have tolerated mediocrity for so long. We have made fashion of lies and corruption. We have honestly extracted art from corruption, so that it may appear as though that the average Nigerian is not necessarily offended by many of these things that you would think are lower nature to a superior man. And this is not me telling you what to think. This is me giving you the assumption of what has been said about us. Maybe this is what you're thinking. And I'm trying to figure out, how is this even possible? Have we normalized nonsense to the degree to which it has now become a part of our identity? We are known now by this thing. It's this, over the weekend it was trending where the South African minister made a very loose statement about, I think I saw a video of her while she was making a giving press briefing, and she said something about Nigerians should show us the drugs. And I understand she's speaking to a few Nigerians, but of course you can understand how perception can grow from that, where there is a generalized assumption that, oh yeah, Nigerians are into drugs. They don't take the drugs, but they sell the drugs, and much of their wealth comes from criminality. And that's not necessarily true, but it's not totally a lie. Okay. Think about it. Just hold on to that for a moment. We'll come back. When we come back, I'll play you this audio, and then we'll talk about it on Open Thought Tuesday.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone. If news is your quest, or gist your request, well, somewhere over your rainbows.
Over your rainbow.
Is the sunny side.
They better know it.
With Joyce.
Let's talk. What's that station again?
Oh yeah, Demo, come by. Here's one thing you need to know about yourself. So like here we dey talk.
Yep, bullseye. That's the one.
You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side. The Sunny Side. Welcome. My name's Joyce.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
Welcome to Nigeria Info, broadcasting the world to you.
Niger government requires sermon.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
The nation's most brilliant young minds gear up for the National Secondary School Debate Tournament. It's the season finale of the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament Season 9. 10th of August at 3 p.m. Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt will come alive. Champions from Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Lagos will go shoulder to shoulder for the crown of the Champion of Champions. 16 secondary schools, 3 daily debates, 4 weeks of intense matchups. Who will be the Champion of Champions of the I Beg to Differ Season 9? The final lap of the journey begins August 10 at 3 p.m. For sponsorship inquiries, email info@nigeriainfo.fm or I Beg to Differ @nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
So debaters, the floor is now yours.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
I tend to employ expatriates to head our operations, especially critical operations. Ikeja, just about 4 months ago, we employed a Nigerian GM. It's always been an expatriate. And the reason is, I don't know. I mean, for me, the working ethos of expatriates are much, much better. Whether Egyptian, whether any other country but Nigeria. I think that's what I'm saying.
But is so let me interrupt you there, because in England, as you and I both know, Nigerians are amongst the most hard-working community.
Indeed.
So what happens when we get here?
That is what I don't understand. I mean, let me even tell you, as bad as in the hospitality industry, if you employ a Nigerian GM, don't be surprised that they'll create a cartel. They can. Honestly, they can create a cartel.
Within your organization?
Yes. Hospitality is a very funny business. I'll tell you one story. I will not mention the name of the hotel. I was sitting in the board, interviewing a financial controller to come and work for us. He works for one of the big hotels in Lagos. And I asked him a question, why he wants to leave. And he said, the GM there was giving him money, unexplained. And I said, how much? Was it around 2-3 million every month? And it's not part of the salary. I said, what do you think that was meant for? He said, it's suspected, it's like a kickback. And when I heard that, I was like, wow. You can see the kind of things that can be structured.
Yeah.
I mean, for a GM to be paying a financial controller incentives, cash incentives. And this is a big hotel. And it was a Nigerian GM. So it reinforces my belief that an expatriate manager will not do that.
So is it... So because I'm an auditor.
Yes.
So when I'm hearing that, I'm just already, my body is doing me somehow. Like, how is that possible? And no one notices that level of money is coming in. So that is collusion.
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So there's collusion and just about ethos, really. To be honest, about ethos. Even when you
So now you've heard that. That's an employer of labor with, I guess, an experience to justify his sentiment. But then again, yeah. Can you see how perception can weave itself into social identity? And this is a Nigerian. What I'm very familiar with would be foreign companies in Nigeria who hire expatriates to come fill positions the Nigerians are more than capable of. I thought partly that was racist, but okay. What if it's not? Is it something else? It's 2 p.m. We'll be right back. They're going to win.
President's unfair when it comes to security in the country.
Contractors, you say a lot of the agencies or government to be attributed to the government.
There's no court order that will tell you to block or go and reclaim without approval.
Let's talk on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
It's 2 o'clock. The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info, and this is the headline news. House of Representatives withdraws State Police Bill, considers executive proposal. Presidency rejects Makinde's call for UN probe into Orire abduction. Oyo plans forest access restrictions after Orire students' rescue. And Lagos flooding linked to rising lagoon levels, government explains. Released Orire victims need long-term psychological support, expert warns. And Adeyemi's arraignment stalled over failure to appear in court. Troops rescue 7 kidnapped victims in Plateau. And Dangote Refinery switches refined product sales to dollar transactions. Outside Nigeria, US-Iran conflict deepens as attacks hit military sites and oil tankers. And in sports, France-Spain clash for World Cup final spot tonight. And finally, Super Falcons arrive Morocco to defend WAFCON title. And that's all on the news making the headlines. My name is Israel Uwem Umor. The Sunny Side with Joyce continues.
This is where the headlines meet the hot takes.
What are the feelings of the people knowing that Fubara is set to return as governor of Rivers State?
We have crisis before, we have actions during, and definitely there will be some actions after.
Regulation of food prices, I think that some miracle is supposed to happen, and our magician is the president.
The farmers that you are giving directives to say you want to crash the food price, that not only farmers.
You know, some of these monies that we've continuously been taxed.
Take seriously, or they were just brought in by devil to come and make us suffer.
Kogi state government has lamented that youth take weapons and food to bandits.
Nigeria's investors who are in the diaspora are complaining. You are asking investors who are not in Nigeria to come and invest. Are you kidding me?
Stay with us on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
All right, Lagos. Let's talk. I don't know if I can honestly save the world through a radio show. I don't know if I can. I don't even have the intention to. But I think sufficiently I can draw us to an awareness, a collective awareness, where if we ever decide we can change some things. It's truly... And you understand this. I think it goes without saying that you truly, fully comprehend what we're trying to discuss now. How... And you know what's even possible? That what they think of us could even be a lie. But if we are surrounded by that narrative, by the possibilities of the notion, then you can understand why anybody would. Even us, we think that of us. This is a Nigerian business owner. This is his view. So, Open Thought Tuesday this afternoon, let's talk about, maybe I would say, the accuracy of the statement. Because I want to believe that there are exceptions, and the exceptions can become the rule. But is that really the situation in this regard? 0201-2770-993, 0201-465-7190, and on WhatsApp, 08095975805. It's Open Thought Tuesday, and you are on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. Hello, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, good afternoon, Joyce. Marka from First Tag. That employer is not completely wrong. It's a very negative threat. He has crept in, and every entrepreneur would testify to this. Every shop owner, supermarket will say, there is this concept, wrong as it is, concept of workshop. Not workshop as in workshop where things happen. No. Work and stop something. So where you work is where you shop. So you employ somebody from the first days looking at loopholes, exploiting all the loopholes. Where can I make money? From this, from that, where can I? Can I collude? This salary is not enough. I need to buy a piece of land to set up a building. I need to do something extra. Does that thing enough? And maybe it came from table this mentality, maybe it came from the politician. But it's there. And I will wait for other people to, especially entrepreneurs and business owners, let them call in and say the experiences about their employees. It's there. It's there. Thank you.
Thank you. He's repeating it's there. It's there. He's probably seen it, met it, been a victim of it. It's there. He knows it's there. Chris from Dublin says, Nigerian companies often cite concerns such as skill, availability, corporate governance, technical expertise, institutional culture, and accountability when deciding to recruit expatriates. Addressing low pay, strengthening institutions, improving education and professional development, and fostering a culture of integrity and meritocracy would help build greater confidence in the local workforce and reduce dependence on expatriate personnel. Thank you, Chris from Dublin. This thing that Chris said looks like the textbook aspect of this conversation. It seems as though there's something... maybe cultural is the word, or societal, if you know what I mean. Because the employer has also become a victim of his own environment, and the employee, I think, is a victim of his own environment. And if you can pick up what I'm putting out, it's probably going to force you into an agreement or a disagreement, so you can pick it up anyhow you choose. To understand this perception that has now become identity, even... Hello, welcome to Nigeria Info. It's good to have you here. Tell us your name.
Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
I'm Sunday. I'm calling from Ikeja. I was listening to your program all this while. I prefer listening than calling, but when you play a clip, I said, let me just chip in my own opinion. What I've seen there is the foundational problem. The country is a foundational problem. Thank you.
That doesn't say much to us, but thank you so much for calling. Hello, you're on the sunny side. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Nigeria Info.
Hello, Joyce. Good afternoon once again.
Afternoon.
Yeah. All right. I can relate to what that man just said. You understand? I had a business in Nigeria, right? And the manager I placed there ate everything, like, you understand, like Gosh, I think we don't trust each other. When I look way back, you understand? That's why we bring in people from the West to come and take charge of some of the provision we have in Nigeria. And this is the same thing that happened. I would like to go way back during the slave trade era. We don't trust each other. We sold each other out. You understand? And this is what is happening. The whole system is corrupt, totally corrupt. That you bring in your own brother, and because they know you, they are the ones that will be doing you. You understand? They thought say that person will know you, they do you. So this is the thing. So I really don't know how we can
but does that
it.
no? But does that really explain the issue? Does that really explain the problem? If you say it goes way back to slavery, yeah, is it that we haven't cultivated decency? We haven't cultivated morality. We haven't cultivated a superior nature.
I think if you look at the Western society, I think poverty is the problem. You understand? Everybody wants to grab what they can grab. When there's poverty in the system, you don't want, like here, we do business and we know that if we go home, we will still get our salary next month. We get it next month. But in a situation where you have like, grab whatever you can grab for now, grab everything you can grab, then greediness comes in. And that is what is killing us in the country. The society is totally upside down. You understand? Let me just put it like that. Like corruption is everywhere. So until we fix that poverty mentality, this will keep repeating itself. Every business you open, I'm thinking of coming to open a car wash, whatever there, but I'm planning to put cameras everywhere. So any car that comes in through that place, I can see that, okay, today 20 cars comes in. But if you have a business there and you can't account for it, maybe you're abroad or something, they will expand that business for you. That's just the thing. That's what I think. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. How are you? Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, Jess. Good afternoon. It's Maya. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Good to have you.
So for me, it is difficult, honestly, sometimes working with Nigerians. So let me tell you what happened recently. So there was this guy. I don't know if they'll be listening. So there's this guy. He was employed in one of the shops we rented out. Do you believe that this guy has been there for close to the longest, maybe 2 years or so? All of a sudden, the guy ran away with every equipment in the shop. He ran away with it. This guy does not have he has an accommodation where he stays, obviously, but then he sleeps in the shop because of where he stays, it's very far. So one day they just came to the shop and they realized that this guy has run away with everything in the store. Where his number was not going, nothing, there was no way to contact him. So you see, and that was because he trusted him to say, okay, well, this person has been here with us for the longest time, and let's just leave everything to him. You get? So Nigerians, I don't know, it is very difficult to place trust on Nigerians when you employ them. The worst part is even family members.
But why?
I think it's greed. It is greed. That's the thing. It is greed. People just want to, whenever they find themselves in it, just imagine now when you employ people at the filling station, for example, they're always looking, their salary is somebody who works in a filling station and the person has a car. How did the person do it? When you know, obviously, if you save your salary for a year.
Is it possible that the Nigerian society, maybe our policy, exploits the Nigerian? So the Nigerian have now become okay, you don't think so?
Joyce, no. So this is the thing, right? I don't always, when we talk about society, who makes up the society? This same Nigerian. So if things are going wrong, it's a contribution of everybody. You get? So there's not, you cannot separate. So imagine this person you're talking about, the man who said paid somebody 2 million. If that person finds himself in politics, the circle will still continue. He will continue to steal from there again. And people under him also, when they find themselves in that same position, they repeat the same thing. So it's a Nigerian problem. And I don't think it is poverty. There are a lot of countries in this world who are poor and they will never... Of countries where you have poor people would never compromise. So it's not a poverty issue. It's just I don't want to call it a Nigerian thing, but it's just something we thought.
You're not even wrong if you say Nigerian thing, because even Nigerians call it the Nigerian thing. You would go somewhere, someone would say, this is how we do it. It's like, what do you mean?
Exactly.
This is how we do it.
When you just imagine now, you find yourself in a political position and then you're an honest person. And then you after 2-3 years, you've not bought a car, built 2 houses. Your family members will start calling you an idiot. Oh, now you be with Jesus, Abi. Now you want to go save Nigeria. This is same people who call and complain about previous government, but they will be the one to insult you when you find yourself in political position and then you're not stealing money. So you see, we can call it a society. And like I said, everybody makes up the society. Every Nigerian, both the rich and the poor, and it's a contribution of everybody that's brought us to where we are today. And I'm sorry to never change. It's just in fact, it's getting worse. Money is not like the order of the day. So
if we fix economic problems, don't you think we're going to be able to fix this issue? Let's quickly go to WhatsApp, read social opinions, and then come right back to the telephone lines on this I think it's so concerning. It's a stain.
Ibilade Amo from Badagry says, perception, Titus 1 verse 12. One of themselves, even a prophet of their own, said, the Christians are always liars, evil beasts, and slow bellies. Truth, half of Nigerians are thieves, half are not. Half of Nigerian politicians are corrupt, half are not. That's Ibilade Amo from Badagry.
Yeah, but what is so I think maybe I'm asking, if you think about it, as I'm trying to drive to a cause. What is cause? Because if we're going to fix the problem, we have to fix cause. So if you can help us out here with an opinion, I'll appreciate that.
When people ask how did you West colonize us, the story the man gave is why. We don't trust ourselves. We are our own problem. I know what that man is saying firsthand. I opened a business in Nigeria and the Nigerian manager I employed ran my business down. It's pathetic and really sad.
Do you know that, and I don't know if you're aware, that there's an aspect of what all of you are agreeing to, which is from that audio, that pretty much begins to infringe on racism, on race superiority. You don't see that? Oh, I've gotten there. You can see how somebody can lay a claim at the assumption that his race is superior, and not for any other reason other than the fact that you act like a barbarian and he doesn't. Just that.
Francis says, please, I hate that word expatriate. Expatriate what? They are simply foreign workers. If you open a business in another country, you also see the challenges. If you think Nigerian workers are bad, try South Africans or Africans in general.
Yeah, maybe the problem is you're comparing yourself with the worst. So which is also a very bad way to begin to address the problem, because you're supposed to compare yourself to the best, which is of course speaking to what I just said about race, where someone can assume superiority just off of it's like what your class system does, where in Nigeria somebody who has money thinks himself better off than the person who doesn't have money. Classism, this up and down type divide. And well, many of you act like you agree with that, because what should level that field is something superior to money that appears to be something that the Nigerian may not have. Even the common sense to even know it appears to be, a privilege many people do not have. You don't see where I'm going with this?
Joyce Onyemuwa, poverty has made our work ethics low. The kind of fraud that people perpetrate now is enormous. Our system is highly compromised. Our policies are not firm enough. We want to beat the system and look at pension scheme. Ayo. This person says, hi Joyce. First off, the social contract is broken between the government and people. Secondly, there is a remuneration and evaluation problem in the work sector. It all falls back on perception and mindset.
Hold on, wait. I like that, but you took me absolutely nowhere. There's a remuneration and what problem?
And evaluation problem.
Good, because I'm of the opinion that there are Nigerians who are capable, who are efficient, but something is impeding that from being the collective assumption. So if I go to a company and I find that there are expatriates who are... Look, there's a benefit to having expatriates. I'm not even trying to be naive about this. There's a benefit to it. From specialized expertise, knowledge transfer, training, cross-border relationship, leadership, depending on what this expatriate has that you don't have locally. But it's also the reason why companies started to train workers. So, if you work in a good company, your company will send you overseas for training. So you have the skill set. Because really what this fundamentally is a skill set. And the Nigerian can and is capable of having it. But something is impeding the glory from coming forth. Like something equally superior, something far superior than just having a skill set, than having a body with bones, and you know how to be an engineer, you know how to be a teacher, you know how to be an accountant, you know how to be a strategist, you know how to be so know-how becomes inferior to this other thing, that now you go somewhere and somebody qualifies you as a collective. I told you one time, the first time I was racially profiled, and the Swiss guy said to me, you sound like you went to an Ivy League school. In my head, because I didn't even go to an Ivy League school. And then he said something else, and it sounded like a compliment, but it was later I was like, no, that's a backhand, that's a jab. I realized that there was the assumption that if you're black and you're African, you're not capable of this level of intellection. It's not common. And I thought, wait. So there is a perception that if you're black, the money if they're going to place a bet is that you can't. But you can. So what impedes that? I was in South Africa. I was in Cape Town one time. And I was in a hotel owned by a British guy. And he said to me, so he'll wake up in the morning. You know how the owner of a hotel, he likes to interact with his yeah, the visitors. He likes to interact with his visitors. So he'll come fix you. No, but I think I later noticed that I was the only person whom he was fixing coffee in the morning. So when he wakes up, and he sees that I'm awake, he'll fix coffee and come give to me because he wants to chat. Okay. And then one time he said to me, you know, you don't act like a Nigerian. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, what is this perception of you don't? I'm like, yeah, I know we have a handful of idiots, but we have like refined Nigerians. So what is this perception like you don't act like a Nigerian? It's like, how does a Nigerian act? I know you guys, even me, I know you're loud. I know you're noisy. But I think those are things that can be excused. I think, it's like the American arrogance or the French arrogance. The world excuses it. They hate them for it, but hey, it's French. Or, it's American, and they excuse it. Look, if Trump wasn't a president, the people, I know the number of people who want to spit on him. But he's president, and he's the American president. All your pastors I've met pastors who just fantasize. There's someone who called Trump my friend. Trump is in the Epstein files. You see how you just erase his sins? You clean his transgressions, and you call him a friend. Because there is a perception. I was going to even speak about that pastor, by the way. It's just that I changed my mind because I had nothing good to say. Okay, and we wait another day.
Okay.
So there's something about this collective perception that I think Nigerians are themselves creating. That's my point. WhatsApp.
Okay. All right. So this next person, Ismail from Agege, says this is a problem of being poor mentally, which transcends physically into our daily activities with people, especially if it involves money. This next person says, additional from Ikorodu, I cannot blame Nigerians. I cannot blame the Nigerian employer that employs a foreigner to manage their business. You see, this is what you get when your government has failed woefully to develop its people and lay down a good institution that is human oriented. When you look left and right, it's all about corruption, and it all looks like something you can absorb any Nigerian from corruption. Because the system accommodates it so much, corruption has now eaten deep into our society. Nigerians are intelligent, industrious, and hardworking, but the society we're in is so much corrupt. That's what he wrote.
Okay, telephone lines. Just a minute, Kami. Let me tell you, this perception thing is bad, though. And whether you know it or not, this is also currency, social currency. Welcome to the show. You're Nigerian. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, just a good afternoon. I said something the other day that once a person has this survival mentality, that person is less than an animal. 98.5% or more than of Nigeria have that survival mentality. You understand? Yeah. And once you have that survival mentality, Joyce, your second said it one day also. Once a person has survival mentality, Joyce, that person can do even what an animal cannot do just to survive. And most time I don't even blame the people. I blame the leaders because they induce that survival mentality in most of us. They are the one that induce it intentionally. That's why the worst of us can now rule the best of us, Joyce. So it's a systemic issue. All this one we are saying, people don't blame anybody. If you come to my house and my children are misbehaving, I don't think you first lash out at my children. You first blame me, the parent. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So it's the leaders, 100% that should hold accountable. They are creating a system whereby it's a kind of dog-eat-dog system. You know, everybody just wants to survive anyway, sha. So don't blame anybody. Uncle Jimmy said something that they create a system of either you beg, steal, or you borrow. I get it. So it's just a systemic thing. It's not about us being a black or being Nigerian. It's the leaders, it's the system that the leaders are busy creating. Thank you.
Okay. You know why this is bad? Even the people who have money act like this. So that's also the problem. It's like, so maybe if you give it if you try to rationalize it with a scenario amongst poor people, say this is the habit or this is the nature of poor Nigerians, the people who have money are doing the same thing. That audio, that guy wasn't the character in his example wasn't destitute, wasn't the 70,000 minimum wage earner. You don't understand what this is. So there is this thing that colors the rich and the poor that is fundamentally a Nigerian identity. We're off on a break. We'll be right back.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back. The nation's most brilliant young minds gear up for the National Secondary School Debate Tournament. It's the season finale of the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament Season 9. 10th of August at 3 p.m. Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt will come alive. Champions from Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Lagos will go shoulder to shoulder for the crown of the Champion of Champions. 16 secondary schools, 3 daily debates, 4 weeks of intense matchups. Who will be the Champion of Champions of the I Beg to Differ Season 9? The final lap of the journey begins August 10 at 3 p.m. For sponsorship inquiries, email info@nigeriainfo.fm or I beg to differ @nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
So debaters, the floor is now yours.
The spotlight is always on the issues that deserve attention.
The flooding I saw yesterday in parts of Accra.
The condition is worse than Nigeria.
But secretly, some people inside Ghana, should we blame government for that?
The sand filling has done it. And who is the biggest sand filler in Lagos?
Custodians of the law are the breakers of the law.
Is saying we should not blame Tinubu. Tinubu will not be in the front line.
Can't negotiate a right road by taking a wrong turn.
Right on the station that talks. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
I tend to employ expatriates to head our operations, especially critical operations. Ikeja, just about 4 months ago, we employed a Nigerian GM. It's always been
an
expatriate. And the reason is, I don't know. I mean, for me, the working ethos of expatriates are much, much better. Whether Egyptian, whether any other country but Nigeria. I think that's what I'm saying.
But so let me interrupt you there, because in England, as you and I both know, Nigerians are amongst the most hard-working communities.
Indeed.
So what happens when we get here?
That is what I don't understand. I mean, let me even tell you, as bad as in the hospitality industry, if you employ a Nigerian GM, don't be surprised that they'll create a cartel. They can. Honestly, they can create a cartel.
Within your organization?
Yes. Hospitality is a very funny business. I'll tell you one story. I will not mention the name of the hotel. I was sitting in the board, interviewing a financial controller to come and work for us. He works for one of the big hotels in Lagos. And I asked him a question, why he wants to leave. And he said, the GM there was giving him money unexplained. And I said, how much? Was it around 2-3 million every month? And it's not part of the salary. I said, what do you think that was meant for? He said, it's suspected. It's like a kickback. And when I heard that, I was like, wow. You can see the kind of things that can be structured.
Yeah.
I mean, for a GM to be paying a financial controller incentives, cash incentives. And this is a big hotel. And it was a Nigerian GM. So it reinforces my belief that an expatriate manager will not do that.
So is it... So because I'm an auditor.
Yes.
So when I'm hearing that, I'm just already, my body is doing me somehow like, how is that possible? And no one notices that level of money is coming in. So that is collusion.
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So there's collusion and just about ethos, really. To be honest, about ethos. Even when you
So let me even tell you that a lot of people in our comment sections are making argument for pay disparity. Some are saying that it is because it's possible that the Nigerian is not being paid or catered to the way the expatriate is being catered to. And there probably could be a possible truth there because, once it's expatriate, you're paying them in their currency. 1, 2, you're catering for their welfare. You're bringing them in. You're paying for housing. You're giving them a car.
Flights.
Whatever they're going to get in their country is what you're going to be giving them here. So the only difference is just location. You are catering to them like the American government would. Perks and all. And I'm thinking, if I consider the opinions of people who are saying the Nigerian doesn't earn in equal measure, and that could play a role, I'm not sure how to pick it up from there. So maybe this is your work.
There's a quick story in the marketplace. So I was grinding pepper when I was listening to these two women discussing in Yoruba. They didn't know that I understood. So the shop where I usually get Gary from is like this Igbo guy shop, and he has opened a couple of shops. Now he sells food stuff. And it takes these young boys to come and learn. It's a thing. They learn, then they use them to go and open their shop. But there was this particular person there, and then the woman was now saying that she has been seeing this boy here for the past 3 or how many years. This same set of boys. Now, doesn't this particular man release people to go and do build their own? Doesn't he settle them or something? Don't they pay for these things? The pepper woman was now silently saying, better leave them. That's how they are there. Don't worry, they are eating. They have how they are feeding themselves because they know that this man will not release them. He will tell them this today, tell them this one next year, tell them this one the following year, and the shop is not doing well, business is not great. So they too, they are now finding their way. So who are you going to blame now? That's a Nigerian that employed Nigerians. Who do you blame? And it happens in every business where you have, even in the tech systems, you see them, they will employ people, you will overwork Nigerians. You will work them to the core. You expect the best for them. Oh yeah, now pay them the same amount you pay someone that you fly. No. It's not happening before our very eyes. It's everywhere. So if a company owner is saying, I'm putting cameras everywhere so they will not steal from me, you yourself, are you paying them well? Let's start from there. I know that they are greedy people. I can agree that they are greedy people everywhere. But guess what? There are greedy people here in Nigeria. There are greedy people outside the country too. So there are greedy people everywhere. But yes, you are going to interview that person before you employ the person. So yes, maybe your sense of judgment was a bit off when you employ the person. But things happen. We know life happens. But not everybody should be labeled as bad.
That's exactly what it is. 99.3 Nigeria Info, telephone lines. There's a comment on YouTube. He says, there's a little truth to this, but do Nigerian companies pay the same salary and perks given to an expatriate to a Nigerian? Do Nigerian companies match salary scale with the... Who's JD?
Job description of a Nigerian.
Okay, yes. Good. Oh, well, here we are. Let me tell you the aspect of this conversation that concerns me. How... it's seemingly unimportant. In fact, maybe even seemingly intangible. But it's exactly your identity. Like whether you like it or not, you are perceived through the things you permit around your environment, the things you engage in, and your response to it. And so, just the tolerance of whether it's poor pay, abuse, social, economic abuse, or violation, whatever it is that exists in your economic sphere, in your cultural reality, becomes identity. You may say, yeah, I don't act the way Nigerians act, but you would need somebody who's going to give you an ear to prove or to explain that you are that different Nigerian. God forbid if you're in a situation where it was called, they're all drug dealers, they're all prostitutes, they're all thieves.
They're all swindlers.
They're all that.
Just
then you have
greedy.
to... I'm not too
less intelligent, not smart.
I'm intelligent. Well, they would have to judge you by their scale. Maybe you sound like you went to an Ivy League school. God knows what his barometer is. You don't act like a Nigerian. What's he talking about?
I mean, a lot of people in the UK get that.
What was he saying? And then you realize that if you are that sort of person and you found yourself with competence and capability, somebody who has already perceived you and placed that sentiment on
Label,
you will now want to pay you in shillings, not because you're incapable, but because
you're Nigerian.
All you Nigerians already tolerate grave hell standard of nothingness. So why should we elevate you to a heaven?
It's even as bad as down to our consumption. So because they know here in Nigeria, I don't think that the consumption law, the agency that's supposed to be looking into that is really looking into it.
That's standardization of products.
Exactly.
Right?
Because a product comes out here in Nigeria and you are seeing it, okay, yes, it looks nice and whatnot. Give it 1 year. That product looks like it looks like the opposite of what came out.
They're illiterate. They don't know what quality is.
And it's because you've heard something. So they give you quality at first, but then somebody now tells them, this is Nigeria now. There's how you can rough it. You can just remove that and replace it with this. So they will buy it. And that's the end.
You know what's funny? And Nigerians are doing the same thing to Nigerians.
Bam.
All right.
So why should they turn out?
Welcome to Nigeria Info.
Right.
Oh dear.
No problem.
WhatsApp caller, turn off everything there. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, Joyce. You know what's so funny about this thing?
Tell me your name, please, and you can go ahead, okay?
But this rate.
All right, Ray, turn off.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Rate, yeah.
Turn off your radio, okay?
So, no, I didn't on the radio. I'm inside even a room here.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I
All right. So, the major problem we have, let me give one example. There is one particular church I attended when I came. The pastor did not employ a single member of his church. It's a big church. You know what? They're not accusing the Sunday school. He now told them that if you employ them, they're not going to work. And they're going to be spoiling the things. So he prefer to go and employ Muslims, herbalists and others to come and work with so they can deal with them. One of the things, I will do that, it's our nature from beginning. It's like a poverty mentality, let me use that word. Poverty line of, even the rich among us, they do worse. They will continue stealing and stealing. Why are they stealing? Are they going to die with the money? But the problem is that they believe that they cannot see tomorrow. So they continue stealing. So that is like a line of poverty. Look at here in UK here. You go and work, yeah? When you get to work, you're expected to stand for 10 hours. Just if you sit down for 15 minutes, you are in trouble. Everybody is on his toe. Continue. Yes, you continue doing your work. Okay, let me give one example. You work in the construction company, and you are expected to move a particular load from one place to the another. If you need, you have to move because they have a job specification for that day, and you have to do it. You have to do it. If you didn't do it, you'll be fired that same day. Even your manager will continue working with you. You will not identify the manager from even the employee. Everybody is working. But in Nigeria, that thing is like a cult. People find our leader, they have their own problem. But even ourselves, when we go outside, we are being useful. When we are inside our own country, we are being useless. That is what it is. I don't even know why. I don't know why it's like that. But the bottom line is that is a tag on us in our country. That thing is intact. This is not even about politics. It's not even about leader. It's about ourselves, our input of what. That's why we are here where we are today. We cannot stand up to fight for it because we are saying we are doing wrong thing. We cannot fight for our rights because we too we are doing the wrong thing. My children here, if I want to do anything, they'll ask me why. If they want to, I'll ask them why. Everybody should explain why you want to do this, why you want to do that, why you want to. Everybody has to be accountable. But Nigeria, can we? If your child asks you just that, why are you going to work? Or why do you want to drive out? Or you will bring the sort of child. Why are you questioning you? Or you ask the child to go and wash a plate. If I ask the child to go and wash a plate, we ask you why should I do it? It's a question. It's not. Everybody has to deserve accountable. In Nigeria, the accountability is zero. That is why things continue to be the same way. So I don't even know how to place it. But in Nigeria, if you're outside, we are being useful. But we are in our country, but we are useless. I'm sorry to use that word.
I mean, if it's the truth, hey, damn it. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Telephone lines. I'll come to WhatsApp in a moment. You're on the sunny side. We're Nigeria Info. Hello.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Afternoon to you.
I'm B.A. Kimbo calling from Iba.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the bottom line has to do with the fact that, in any society where you worship money, things like this, you always get it. I would try to cite one or two examples. There was a woman who owns a church, and on a given day, she went out. Before she came back, a customer came and bought 10 crates of soft drink. This lady quickly went, the sales girl, quickly went to another shop where they usually buy in quantity and replaced the 10 crates. And when the madam came, she said there hasn't been any profit. Any sales. So the profit, she pocketed it. And there was also the case of a car wash stand. A customer came and asked the young man to wash the engine, the interior, and the exterior. He charged him 5,000. And when the Oga came, he has finished and collected the money. So he told his Oga, the man only washed the exterior, which is normally 1,000. So he pocketed 4,000. And in that 1,000 he declared, they are going to share it to two. So out of 5,000 now, the owner of the business only got 500 naira. The attendant got 4,005. I think it's so unfortunate, the system we have found ourselves. And that is why, and there are some shops, you can't get in there and take any stock because the whole thing was just a mess. Things were so arranged to the point that no single space. And such sales girls would just be making money on their own. It's unfortunate. It will be difficult to stop it, honestly, except we change our system. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. WhatsApp caller, you're on Nigeria Info. Kemi, just a moment.
Okay.
Welcome to WhatsApp caller. Good to have you. Tell us your name. You can go ahead, please.
Good morning, Joyce.
Morning to
Good
you.
morning, Kemi. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so
Tell us your name. Go ahead.
I've been listening. OC calling from Canada. So let me start from the salary part. First of all, I don't have an issue with employers paying a certain amount of money, to quote unquote those abroad, and not paying the equal amount to a Nigerian in Nigeria. The problem is not in the amount. The problem is with our Nigerian government. So I feel like we as a people need to hold our government accountable. So how do things work here? So regardless of what you make, whether you're the lower cadre or the higher cadre, the cost of living is regulated, highly regulated, where if you make a certain amount of money, you cannot spend more than 30% of your income on accommodation. Going by that logic, if minimum wage in Nigeria is 100,000 naira, you shouldn't be paying more than 300,000 or 360,000 naira a year annually for rent. That should be the benchmark for everyone. Now, we're asking for higher funds because again, our economy is pegged against the dollar, which is fundamentally wrong in itself, and we need to fix that. Because again, we here in Canada, there are people who work for companies in the US. They're not paid in USD. There are a few people who are paid in USD, but you're paid based on wherever, like the country you're at, and what maybe minimum wage or living wage or average wage, right? So you should hold your government accountable and know what to expect. That's on one. Then on the second hand, when you talk about the IQ thing, yes, it's now the logic with the IQ is not correct, but their perception about us is true. You find it everywhere, like when you meet Caucasians or you meet even Asians, like they look at us less. Now, initially I used to be angry, but again, you do your own introspect and you see, sometimes you sit and you ask yourself, what's really they do us? Why can't we? You can't even boast of one country ruled by black men and say, okay, we're actually thriving, we know what to do. Take Nigeria, for instance. Do we even have a master plan? Do we have a plan to say, okay, in the next 50 years, this is where we're headed, and we are working in that direction? We can't even self-govern. We have all the natural resources on that. We keep claiming, oh, we have natural resources, we have natural resources. Having natural resources is one thing. Having the talent to know how to use the natural resources for your own benefit as a country is another thing. We don't have it. We still go run to these guys. We can't do research. We can't invent. We can't even do things for ourselves. We still run to these guys. And you want to claim that you're equal? I'm not saying it's bad to claim you're equal, but I'm saying we have a lot of work to do in-house before going out to say, oh, discrimination or no discrimination, blah, blah, blah. So Nigeria has a long way to go. And before we start blaming others for our problem, we need to fix ourselves in-house.
Thank you very much for calling me. We're gonna read a few more messages. Then we'll come back to telephone lines. Kemi, so you run.
All right. Hello, Joyce. I'm Chidi, working from the psychological angle. I'll put it in the box of the level of fear for the consequences of their actions. In the Western world, consequences are unforgiving, so it keeps them in line. Not so much in Nigeria, where you can buy your freedom or call village to beg. This next person says, good afternoon, Joyce. Have you heard of any retired security chiefs who did not vie for political appointment after retirement? How did those who vied for these positions raise money to fund their campaigns? If terrorism, kidnapping, and banditry were not in contribution to their wealth, where did their money come from? The corruption in Nigeria deserves a spot in the Guinness World Records.
I don't get that.
This person says, Tommy, this is Tommy. She says, from Ikorodu Tola, she says, Nigerians are suffering from anomie. I don't know what that is. It says, we need to find ways to calm Nigerians down. Mortgages, planned leaves, and opportunities.
Okay.
This person says, the most dangerous. Wait, what? No. Says there's somebody at Friday that is dangerous. I don't know what he's saying. Okay. I respectfully disagree with the callers who described this as a Nigerian thing. From my own experience, so working with people from different nationalities, including Pakistans and Indians, I have encountered individuals who tried to persuade me to compromise my integrity when I was responsible for handling company finances. In my view, this is not about nationality. It's about individual character. Integrity has no nationality. Honest and dishonest people can be found everywhere, and we should be careful not to stereotype an entire country or people based on the action of a few. Hello, Joyce.
Gentlemen, hold on a second. Look, I love it that you are taking your salvation seriously. Maybe you're the redeemed. Believe me, we're not wrong when we say that you are already you see you and this salvation, the Lord better be on your side. Somebody is going to stereotype you. In fact, the people who came to you for, what's that thing called? He said they came to him for corruption?
Yes.
They came because they were certain that you were corrupt. Then you just
Yeah, because he was
disappointed
in
them.
Nigeria.
Then you just
Yeah.
disappointed
He
them.
didn't live up to the hype.
You can't tell us to be careful, honey. If you've been anywhere, I've been racially profiled. It's just that I came up with a score sheet that appears to be in its credits on the guys. Otherwise, you would. He said to me that we're not. Well, he didn't say it. Well, you probably know bright.
Like, you people are not bright like this.
No, it's like,
what happened to you?
You sound like you went to an Ivy League school.
So it looks like a compliment, but when you check it well, it's a diss.
You look like, yeah.
It's like, so,
you
I
know,
thought it was just monkeys
so
and
now you
baboons
realize
and-
that if you were given to flattery, you'd have thought that was a compliment.
Yeah.
I'm not given to flattery. As you just said, I was like, wait.
Insult.
You went-
Shots fired, shots fired.
Like, so in my head, I was thinking, so you think all of us are monkeys, you know?
Yeah,
like,
we're just hopping,
we're
you know.
daft.
Just doing Bambi for now.
And if it's not an Ivy League school, then we're not worth.
Yeah, those ones, most of them didn't go to
Because
Ivy
you see,
League
nobody
school,
thinks the American went to an Ivy League school. It's just the prestige of being America. America
So-
puts the pride in movies. They put it in songs.
Songs,
They put it in
everything.
culture. They put it in food. They choke you with it. So that the reason you want to go to America is not even because, in fact, you
because of-
believe America because of what America told you it is.
Exactly, true.
It's all marketing. I mean, they're corrupt there, but can you see what perception can do?
True.
WhatsApp messages.
Hello, Joyce and Kemi. Joyce, you're asking what the cause of the problem is, and the answer is that the way we are being wired while we were still children is a mental problem. He says that makes it a common Nigerian man and the society to glorify money, and that they also like to show up when they have little money. And the major problem is that there's no true justice in our country, and the politicians have abused power, being corrupt, including religious leaders, living luxurious lives. That's why a common Nigerian tells lies, scams, and does fraud to make money and make it up in life. Thank you. My name is Dan P. This next person says, good afternoon, Joyce. I don't think it's just poverty. Over the years, I've stopped punishing bad behaviors. Instead, I reward and promote it, thereby discouraging people with integrity. Unfortunately, it seems there is no going back.
May God help us. So if we go, if we
Hey, whoa. Okay. Greetings to you, Joyce and Auntie Kemi. Nigerian mentality is all about making money, and this has affected the newer generations. This is very bad. A country that glorifies money, and if you don't have money, then you are useless and nothing. A common Nigerian will go abroad today and wants to acquire what his fellow Nigerian has suffered for 20 years abroad, and it will never stop because the society permits a luxurious life and shows up or shows off lifestyle in our country. Thank you. My name is Daniel. This next person says, Joyce, the rich
Hold on
do
a
it.
second, please.
Hello?
What's up, caller?
Hello, Joyce.
Yeah, tell us your name. Go ahead.
Jess, good afternoon. It's Tilly. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Oh yeah,
So
plenty calls. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you. So you at the end you still mentioned the IQ thing, and there's a way you put it. I'm referring to the guy also that said, "Oh, you sound like somebody who went to an Ivy League school," and taking that not as a compliment, but like, oh, finally I met one Nigerian maybe who seems to be sane or speaks like she has some sort of IQ that I can relate with compared to the other Nigerians I've been meeting. So you see, for me, I don't think it's about salary, because somebody mentioned salary, because the politicians, the senators, for example, how much do they receive? But at the end, does it satisfy them? So it's not about salary. A thief is a thief. No matter how much you pay them, the moment they find themselves in that position, they will still steal. In fact, the higher the position, the more they steal. And the higher the salary, the more they steal. So it's not about salary.
What is it about?
This is
Cultural? What is it about?
I
Is
don't know-
something
I don't
following
think
us?
it's
Are we mad?
we are not serious people. Let me just put it that way. Like, we go back to the IQ thing. We are not people who are. I think the level of the way we think and other people think in other places is quite different. And I'm sorry, I don't think we can change that because it has moved from generation to generation.
I mean, like, we can't.
It's an individual
because
change.
now you have to start teaching. Yeah, because you have to start.
That's exactly what you do.
Not all Nigerians, so not all Nigerians. At least there are still honest Nigerians. You get cannot generalize to say, but at the end, a good amount of people. If you put maybe 10 or 20, the honest one might be like half. And that half, the honesty might even question is like shaking on the balance. So you see, so Nigerians are because when Kemi even talked about people who import fake stuff, are they not fake merchantmen? They are still merchantmen who import all those things. They will go to other countries. They see that they got quality here. They say because it's Nigeria and let us bring fake product to them. They'll still buy it for the same amount we sell for the expensive one. So you see, so it's a problem. So anytime we talk about Nigerians and people always try to blame government, the people are also part of the problem because before you get to a political position, you are first in Nigeria and you are first corrupt. So when you go there, your corrupt mindset amplifies. So you only complain when you're at the bottom of the ladder because you've not gotten there. The moment you get there, no politician was born with a silver spoon, right? So a lot of them were poor before they go there. They knew the problems we are complaining about today. Most of the callers even call radio stations to complain. I'm telling you, if they find themselves in the same position, they will do the same thing. Even if they don't do the same thing, if they find one of their family members there that is in political position and is not stealing and is not bringing back money home, and is not acquiring wealth like they want to, they will still insult that person.
This is bad.
You get. So it's the people's thing. It's the people's thing.
Thank you.
It's a pity, and it's a pity. Yeah.
Thank you. No,
it's an individual thing.
My mind is going to a lot of places. Hello, welcome to Nigeria Info.
Hey Joyce, how you doing?
Good. Tell us your name. Go ahead.
Anonymous, calling from North America.
Okay.
I think everywhere just needs a lot of work, from the government to the private parastatal. In terms of the government, I think they need to start from in-house, in the sense that when things are done wrongly, corruption, they should penalize it to the highest standard. In fact, I think they should even be given a harsher sentence or punishment compared to an average citizen. That would also apply to the those in any level of authority, like the police, soldier, and the rest. That's one. Two, I would say for the private, or will I say the private or the average folks on the streets, I think the government should. It's high time we start talking about hourly pay, because there is no way you can say, corruption without a need or the system weaponizing poverty, regardless of how
you your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
The nation's most brilliant young minds gear up for the National Secondary School Debate Tournament. It's the season finale of the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament Season 9. 10th of August at 3 p.m. Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt will come alive. Champions from Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Lagos will go shoulder to shoulder for the crown of the Champion of Champions. 16 secondary schools, 3 daily debates, 4 weeks of intense matchups. Who will be the Champion of Champions of the I Beg to Differ Season 9? The final lap of the journey begins August 10 at 3 p.m. For sponsorship inquiries, email info@nigeriainfo.fm or I beg to differ at nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
So debaters, the floor is now yours.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Okay, WhatsApp caller. Sorry for interrupting you. I had a commercial break, so I'm going to give you like a minute to just round up your thoughts. Thank you so much for waiting for me. WhatsApp caller, I'm with you.
Yeah, as I was saying, hourly pay has to come into the picture. You cannot be giving somebody next to nothing and you expect the person, because while I was working in Nigeria, it's a known fact that if the manager is still in the office, everybody sits. I'm like, no, you're employing me from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock with an hour break in between. The manager doesn't get in till 9 or 10. Am I allowed to still wait till 9 or 10 before I start working or come into the office? It just doesn't make sense. Let there be hourly pay and let everybody know how much hour that they're intending to work or they are asked to work. And once it's done, you go your way. Because somebody also said, people, what's it called? It's not a guarantee that if you increase the money or give them something, a livable wage, that they won't still. Are they not billionaires that are still stealing money, insider trading, and all others. Does that apply to the general masses? We need to start somewhere, and that somewhere is ensuring that government does its own part and the private sector does its own part. We were at, I think, the first time Buhari ruled, I think there was some sort of sense of sanity at that point, but I don't know when he came back. He messed it up. But we need to start somewhere, and at least let us start from somewhere that we can easily point, which is poverty on the part of the masses, and also accountability when it comes to leadership in the country.
Fair. Thank you. Kemi, what's up?
Okay. Joyce, the rich do it because they grew up from that mentality, animal instinct. They did it to become rich in one day. Who knows how they got their riches, and that's the mentality they will pass down to their kids. So yes, it still falls back to the system of corruption and poverty. The rich are scared of getting poor, while the poor want to get out of it. This next person says, Joyce, good afternoon. The word corruption in the dictionary should be replaced with Nigeria. When you see someone who's corrupt, instead of saying, oh, that person is corrupt, just say that person is Nigerian. This person says, good afternoon, Joyce and Kemi. I would like to remain anonymous. I work in a multinational company with shareholders from France and China here in Lagos. I can tell you that for a fact, there are some high-ranking managerial position in the organization that can never be occupied by a Nigerian. Something happened some time ago. Last year, the CFO, a French lady of the company, suddenly resigned and left the country due to the fact that she refused to give in to some criminalistic proposal that the Nigerian managers too were passing at her. He says, after her resignation, you would not believe within her 3 months of absence, whatever approval that required the CFO must come from the head office in France. Joyce, this speaks negatively about us as a people.
Absolutely.
This person says, I work in an organization where they do the same, where I do the same tax with a particular expatriate, but they pay the perks, it's not the same. And so lately I have stopped doing some tax and I've left it to the expatriate to do it, since he's not comfortable. And he says, and he's not now comfortable with this decision. There is nothing he has done to make me change my action. I upskilled recently with the consent of the expatriate, but he didn't acknowledge it. And now he wants me to now use the new skill by assigning me new tax, which I declined.
All right, we don't have time anymore. We'll have to talk about identity another day and perception. No, it's 3 p.m. on the clock. The sun has set. My work's done. We'll read it tomorrow. God bless you. See you.